Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Is there no music? No, there's music. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so part 4. Yeah, the we don't necessarily have to have the map going on, right? Let's make sure the map is up to date, and then we're gonna have you do that little summoning thing. The plan is currently I'm gonna put the in play the plan. Them there. Yeah, I see this is good enough. Cool. All right, we're going to go back over to the other viewer screen. And we can do this and go here. Cool. Awesome. All right, guys. Let's do that thing with the thing and the other stuff. So you guys ride a little bit outside of town. We'll say a little bit to the west. You know what I mean? Outside of your camp there, and head to go speak with Phaedril alone to go and summon this this devil, my apologies, that you've had dealings with in the past. So you go to summon the devil, and the imp kind of does the work from here. You see it literally in the grounds, draws like a little bit of a circle, just like a little summoning circle, very small one, some intricate design to it or whatever, but nothing that like you really understand, or you honestly, understanding magic, you honestly think if you drew the circle it wouldn't do anything yourself because you don't have. Perhaps maybe you could screw it up, or perhaps maybe you don't know the words of the incantation to make it of note, but you watch him do it nonetheless. And after it's done, you can actually see that he, with one of his clawed hands, does a little cut to one of the tips of his fingers and the other one, and allows a single drop of blood to drop
a single drop, eh?
into the center of the circle, and says a couple of words, and then ends after saying his words in a language that neither of you understand. He places one hand on either side of the circle and leans down low and whispers something. And once again, a language you don't understand into the center of the circle. Oh, you want to roll a perception check? Go ahead. Go ahead. You actually can do that. Go ahead, roll a perception. Oh, nothing for you. Oh, no, go there. and so he whispers something into the center of the circle. And then the circle comes to glow, and then starts to almost like shift or move, but you can see it's not necessarily the circle moving, but it's the magics around it. And then above the circle, a portal seems to open. A portal like you saw beforehand into a planescape that you wish that you didn't have to look into. Staring into this darkness you imagine, to some degree or another, must leave its mark on you. Nonetheless, you are looking into a portal of a hellscape like... You don't the sounds that come out of it, the smells that come out of it. It's one of those things where describing it to you doesn't really matter because as soon as the portal closes, most of it, just like a bad dream, kind of wipes from your character's memory, leaving only behind an impression of what it was that you witnessed. Even if the details get so foggy, you more or less forget them all. The portal opens up. And out steps through a creature like you've never seen before. The creature itself stands at about 7 feet tall. It is a large, spiny creature that's before you. Spiny with its skin looking like it's made out of, I want to say scale, but scales themselves almost look like they're made out of rocks. Each one of the spines on its back is like almost like a movable, like a malleable stalagmite or stalactite that comes to a hard point, like a razor, that comes from the front of its brow, shooting backwards like a porcupine, all the way down between its shoulder blades, its neck, its shoulders, the back of its elbows, its ass, all the way down to a huge, thick, reptilian-like tail that comes off of its backside. Not like the thin, spiny tail like you saw before when you handled the Bone Devil before, but this thick, spiny tail that comes all the way down and ends in once again, the very thick tail, which is probably about as long as the entire creature is tall, maybe 7 feet in length. Also ends with hard spikes on it. Its hands come down and end with claws, each claw almost as long as the hands that bears the claw. Its reverse hoofed feet, with spines that come off of, once again, the back of where an ankle might be. Its knees even have short ends, but a thick, a group of spines off of it. Every part of this creature looks like if it were to just graze past you, touch you, bump into you, you would feel as though you would be cut from any of its outer portion. Though its chest, its inner arms, biceps, areas like that are just made out of that. It looks like scales, but probably is made out of stone. Certainly looks like it's made out of like rock that's kind of like moving around each other, much like skin would, right? Its front side not being spiny. It doesn't have sharp nipples. Calm down, Dean Cuddy. Its face itself is elongated, much longer than the face of any of the devils that you've seen before. Its nose coming to a point that almost is like a spike in and of itself. Its elongated, overly pronounced jaw, even more so than mine, caps off its very large, very, very wide mouth that it has. Its mouth is filled with densely packed rows of fangs inside. Probably 2, maybe 3 rows of teeth inside of its mouth. Once again, densely packed. You imagine there is easily 200 or 300 teeth inside this creature's mouth that are designed for ripping, cutting, and tearing. Its eyes themselves are give off this kind of like cool, dark red with like an orange glow to them. But the eyes themselves are the only part that seem the most familiar. Every part about this creature seems so different. But when those eyes look at you, when you feel them bear on you, and you look back at the eyes, you get a sense of infernal familiarity with them. I mean, every part of this creature gives you the sense of awe and fear. As a matter of fact, if you could just go ahead, just for funsies, and make me a will save, that'd be great.
Aaron's gonna go ahead and put his hand on his sword. Nice. Ace.
Beautiful. Anybody wish to modify their roll?
Mine's a 15.
Yep, I see that. Yep. Anybody care to modify their roll?
We only have 2 luck, don't we?
Correct.
Yep.
Do you think it's worth me using one or not really?
I think you'll probably have passed. I don't know, this is just passive fear.
Yeah, well, I guess we can save them.
Okay, so unfortunately, 1, you were genuinely frightened for the first time in, how many years? You see this creature, and you're sitting there looking at it going, I wish not to fight with this creature. You're genuinely like, in the name of Roga, I would fight anything that put itself before me as an opponent. But I genuinely do not want to fight this creature. It scares me. It gives me the impression not only that I would come to a horrible and painful end, but the end would not be there. That end would continue for who knows how long. You are frightened. I can imagine your character even takes like an instinctive step back and like reach down towards your axe as you feel the fear building up in you, doing everything in your power to steel your jaw and not give off that sense of fear. Unfortunately, to your side, looking to your friend, you've seen that look. You've seen that look many times before. Usually, you give people you know that look. No. Not quite that look. People have run from your words, your battle cries, from you cutting people that were probably previously friends of theirs in half in front of them. But the look on Rayron's face is so much worse. He is probably at a loss of words for right now. Rayron is swallowing and trying to keep his consciousness, like not like passive, but like his presence of mind in the situation, looking at this large creature. It looks at you guys, and you can see, just like instinctively, again, not you, Rayron, but you get the immediate understanding that it can sense, one way or another, the fear that is just eeping off the two of you. And it's enjoying it. Looking at the two of you, and finally allowing the moment, which who knows how long this is. It could literally be 2 or 3 seconds or 2 or 3 minutes. You don't know. Everything just seems a little distorted, especially to Rayron. Less so to you, one. And finally he says, "You called."
I probably snaps one a bit more than it does a wherein. And one will, not shakily, but you can definitely see there's kind of like a hesitation, put his hand on Rayren's shoulder, and he says, we've come to inquire about using one of the boons.
He, you can see the creature nod slightly and says, I've surmised as much. Now, tell me, how may I be of service to you?
We are at war, and I wish to know if it is possible that you may transport the leaders of the opposing faction to a destination of our choice. I would ask that you do it discreetly and nobody see you or know that you were there. Is this something that can be done?
You wish to gather all the leaders of your opposing army, or your opposition,
Of Haude Gwenh.
and gather them to your home.
In
I
custody.
want them, in a state where they are not able to resist straight away. I believe maybe getting them in the middle of the night when they have no gear, weapons, something like that.
It is the middle of the nights now. They could be gathered. They could be brought to wherever it is that you would like. You wish to have more devils brought into a deer? He says, looking at Wherein. For this task, of course.
Is this something you could complete quietly, discreetly, or would it be better suited to others of your kind?
The more that act at once, the more that can be done without persons being noticed.
How many would you need?
Enough.
How many is enough?
3, 4. Very temporarily. They would be gone in less than a day.
Why would they not be gone as soon as they've completed their task?
Very well. They'll be gone as soon as they complete their task.
Now, as I understand it, things have to be extremely specific.
It's rather specific. Now, I would have my minions, and I would aid them, head to Haude Gwenh, and have the leadership of Haude Gwenh brought to the custody that you suggest or dictate in advance, and immediately upon completion, they would leave. Go back to where we came from, as would I, as per our deal.
However, I have not specified that you are not to do anything else here apart from that.
Hold on, just to address something inside chat real quick. I fucking swear all the time. We say all sorts of shit. I've even gone so far as to call Jake here a filthy... Well, never mind. We don't need to drop that word that makes people upset. Could you repeat that one more time, Jake? So sorry.
What else?
You were saying We forgot to mention that you wouldn't be able to complete any other task of this during your time here in Adir.
What are you trying to get at? You want me to bring my minions here to do this task of transporting them back to your previously disclosed location, previously chosen location, and then leave immediately to go back to our home. That would be the deal. It's pretty simple and quite doable, and in exchange, we will strike one boon from the bargain. You would have 2 remaining. I think it's a pretty fair deal. I think you've certainly earned that on your end. He says as he kind of like moves in such a way that's once again very imposing. You see a large and it's one of those things where you're like, shit, he was scary before, but now it's like,
I do not wish for you or your servants, accomplices, others of your kind to do anything but what we ask you.
I will give them their task.
So there will be no meddling in affairs that aren't we have specified then.
To be clear, that this boon requires discretion and stealth. Were your agents detected, the boon would not be correctly completed.
I agree with you.
Good.
I'm gonna look to Wherein and he says, actually look back to the devil and say, do you know how many of the leadership is in Haude Gwenh?
Mortal affairs. Haude Gwenh is ruled by a council. There are 7, so there's never an even vote. Of council members, there remains 5. You have 1 who is riding and 1 who is sitting.
The 5 council members, Lord Greyrass and another.
His son.
Wherein, could you describe the man that we thought was like really leading Haude Gwenh, the one that you fought in the bank or something? One would ask you to describe him, and he would ask, is he in Haude Gwenh?
Because you were stuck outside, that's right.
Wherein saw his eyes, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Through a slot.
Mm-hmm. He's wearing armor.
He didn't see the individual.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Then he'd turn back to the devil and be like, do you know who that person is?
I don't
I
know.
believe he's the leader.
I don't know of all that has transpired in this land over the course of your life, but I do know that there are currently 7 council members. 5 that are within Haude Gwenh, 1 that is upon a horse, and 1 that sits in a cell. That is what I know.
5 in Haude Gwenh, Lord Greyrass in our custody, and Daelric riding out. Could you tell us for free where he rides to?
I honestly do not know.
That would leave us only a battle against Daelric. He's a skilled commander, but should we win, that is it. The war is all but over.
Wherein, this is the part that I feel must happen, but I don't feel like. Not that you're not up to it. I feel like you won't agree.
Did we summon me here before you made up our mind? Do we have an arrangement or do we not?
We both have to agree on the terms now.
I have been patient and waiting for the terms to be set. They have been set. Do we agree?
It will depend on the answer that I receive from Rayron. The men that are brought here, he looks to the devil and say, will they know what you are? And then he just turns back and he says, they're going to just more or less appear here. They're going to know something's going on. Rayron, they're going to have to be killed.
I agree.
I will do this myself.
We can't give them the opportunity to gather themselves. We'll deal with it together, swiftly.
I'm going to kill the leadership that I delivered into you. I'd offer to do it myself, but then I'd be afraid that you would assume what we did afterwards you would find uncouth. So we'll deliver them as per the previous bargain and leave the dirty work to those with bloodied hands.
One looks at Rayron and he nods.
Rayron just nods and then looks away.
Alright, so we're gonna then hammer out the exact details. What's to happen?
I'll command those beneath me to appear. Their task is to go and collect the 5 leaders that exist in Haude Gwenh still, and then to leave immediately. That is their only task. It's plain and simple. Do not harm them, and do not be seen in the interim. Again, a very simple task.
They're to not do anything before they get them either. They're to do just that.
You're trying to be rather specific. However, to gather them is many actions. Shall we try to dictate to each one of their movements between the moment that I summon them to the moment that they capture? Or do they have freedom?
They must not be seen prior, during the interim, or after. The discretion is key.
That's understood. Discretion above all else.
Not seen or heard.
Discretion above all else. Success isn't a concern. I offer one little free tidbit. Would you like me to send Phaedril there, to Haude Gwenh? I imagine it would be helpful to have someone looking about and reporting back. Or do you wish to keep him by your side?
He would have to return to us to report back, but we will need to know the initial aftermath of this action, I suppose.
I'm heading there myself, and he lacks the ability to transport great distances as quickly as I do.
Depends on if these council members are any good in a fight.
Also, could they be delivered almost one at a time, giving us time to dispatch an unsuspecting councillor before the next arrives?
Looks overhead at the stars and the moon above and says, I imagine they'll be unsuspecting. Where is this location you want them delivered?
Needs to be somewhere private, somewhere away from the men.
He gestures at your feet.
How many miles from camp are we?
You probably didn't ride out too far, maybe like 15, 20 minutes or so probably like 2 miles or so from camp. No, if you're riding, my apologies, probably like 5 miles from camp. 4 miles, something like that.
There's no way anyone's going to hear anything.
Because you probably didn't ride too quickly. You probably didn't ride too slowly. You probably went out a bit. We'll call it 3.5, 4 miles, something like that.
We could dispatch and deal with the bodies here.
Yeah, I think that would be best.
I think we agreed to the terms then.
Phaedril coming with me?
Yes. Is there any faster way for him to communicate? flying over a deer is time consuming.
He looks at Phaedril, and then he'll actually do like with a huge frigging claw. We're talking a claw that's like longer than your neck is tall. Sorry, than your head is tall. You know what I mean? And he gives like a back of claw pet down the side of Phaedril's face. Phaedril does not like it.
No one likes that.
No. And says, perhaps one day Phaedril will earn the ability to communicate across distances without sounds, but for now he's incompetent.
Before you go, and this boon is rendered, may I ask a question? And then he will take the axe out and he'll say, do you know what lies within this?
No, don't let the big devil touch it.
I'm not gonna let him touch it. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to ask.
You ask the question, and he says, I know many things about the mortal realm and from beyond it. So I suppose the answer is yes. I do know details about that you couldn't even begin to understand. And if they were explained, you still would not understand. Be ready. And he then he did that caress and then grabs Phaedril, kind of like a like a monkey grab to like a bird, and then disappears and disappears leaves behind almost like a falling ash of almost like a nasty sulfury kind of smell, like a kind of smell. And as he disappears, just leaving behind the falling ash, he's gone. A couple of minutes will pass, so you guys have time to kind of chat amongst yourselves if you'd like.
Wherein's gonna drop a light in the center of this clearing. Just place it on a stone or something.
Do you have a potion of dark vision at all?
Oh yeah, I do actually. Yeah, maybe that's a good. Okay, I'll drink.
I would suggest for you to use
that's
it.
a good idea. Yeah, sure. How long does dark vision last?
Like an hour or some shit. It's pretty long.
Okay, I'll drink it now, and I won't have cast light. That's a good idea.
Okay, so I imagine this is predominantly going to fall to 1. You know what I mean? And because I know 1 is to 1. This is heartless. This is an act of war. This is in Vroga's name. Whereas Wherein, this already sits on a heavy heart. He's already been shaken. He's already frightened. He already had to make a deal to do this. There's a lot of emotion that goes behind this for Wherein that is much heavier and almost like moving through molasses compared to the situation than 1. So probably about 2 or 3 minutes pass when all of a sudden a man appears before you. He's literally inside of a nightgown, just kind of what the? And what brings him here is literally looks very, 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 very similar to a creature that you've seen beforehand, going back many months now. A bone devil is actually the one that's got literally like clawed fingers around his throat, holding him and holding against his chest. It's kind of just appears right there, holding this guy's and let's go and disappears again, Nightcrawler style, right? And as he does that, he's what the? And he looks around without spending too much time looking at this because I know you want to act quickly. The man literally looks like he's probably in his mid 40s or something like that. He is completely caught off guard by the fact that he just was grabbed and transported in the middle of the night to a cold, wet place with the darkness, and then let go of his throat, and now there's 2 people here before him. One, I imagine you have a prepared action and you react before anything else. You're more than...
I do, but I am, of note, not using that axe.
Oh, you're not?
I'm using the Barren Lands axe that I have.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. So, you take the Barren Lands axe. You can make an attack roll, sir.
I don't actually have it on my sheet anymore.
I guess you have to use that axe because you left it behind.
No.
No, I honestly thought your character would have left it behind, but your conversation with 3 probably made him go, let me put that back into my inventory, you know?
Yeah. So, just -1 to hit off this and ignore the fire damage.
Technically, if you're looking for the correct term, for what it is now. It is this is the chat, Hamatula is what it is now, which is a barbed devil in Pathfinder. So my apologies. So you do actually make connect. So you do actually hit the guy, and so it's one of those things that and he drops to a knee. Wherein can join in as well, but because you got that first connect, they're not really able to react. They were surprised, drop, so on and so forth, and then you once again you can make another attack, and as long as you hit, we can kind of just end it from there. Jake.
Alright, so make another attack.
Yep, and once again, so you just kind of don't have to worry about damage. And you drop the guy. Technically, your chance to hit's one less than what we're seeing there, because in theory, you're not using this weapon. So, and you kind of drop the guy on the ground, and then probably just to make sure it's clean and easy, so you don't have to deal with any mistakes later on, pull back and do like a third chop, and make sure that he's dead. Probably like a spine, head, kind of like a upper body, back, kind of make sure he's dead. Keep it as quick and clean as possible, right? No reason to mince. You literally watch somebody just appear out of nowhere, Wherein, and just go, and just get killed. Now there's an eerie, awkward silence between the two of you as you're just standing there waiting over a corpse. What do you do?
Wait for the next one. Maybe drag that one to the side a little tiny bit in case they appear in the same spot. So I assume they will.
So you're gonna hope that this they get a little bit of time, and then you're gonna grab it one and do that. What do you do, Wherein?
It's going to be quick, like literally just a drag. So
Yeah. You're talking like 15, 20 seconds, not like spend 4 minutes. I got you.
No, I'm talking about like literally drag it like 5 feet, maybe 10 feet. Not even. Just pull.
Have you ever dragged an adult male?
I have.
Outside in the woodlands?
No.
I mean, it's not easy.
What he means is out of our feet.
Yeah. So what are you doing, Wherein?
I'm not sure that Rayron's doing anything.
So you just kind of step back and watching? Okay. So you pull it to the side, you get your axe ready, and more or less right as you're getting back to where you were beforehand, all of a sudden a woman appears. Like, and what ends up bringing her there is a very different looking devil than the one that you had seen beforehand. It strikes you as a strange looking creature that you only have a moment to glance at before all of a sudden it disappears again. She's like, what in the name of? And you make your attack roll, sir.
Okay, I'm also activating judgment.
Okay.
Actually, I won't yet. I'll do that at a different time. Alright, so back roll. And she's prone, right?
Well, not exactly, but you're good. So you hit, and then you can, once again, same as before, if you hit a second time, she doesn't even have time to react.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if one attack or two is good enough. Just 3 hits, just for sake of cleanliness, efficiency. Make sure these people are dead. After that, another minute passes. It gives you guys more than enough time to drag the body to the side. Wherein is probably still there, still shaken, watching this as it happens. At this time, because a gap of time passes, 60 seconds, maybe look at each other once or twice between now and then. And then another person appears. Wherein, intelligence check. Make your attack roll, sir.
Okay. And I was waiting for another. Is this a male?
Correct.
Sweet, because I was waiting for it not to be a female before I did this, because I feel like the female would be easier to hit. So now he's doing.
Whoa! Wow! Wow! Wow!
So still...
Don't clip that.
It's -1 to this.
Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. So what do you do with this?
Scott, you just delete that pod, please.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So what were you doing with this action? I'm sorry.
What was I doing? Hitting.
Oh, you said you were doing something different or whatever based on.
Oh yeah, I activated a judgment.
Oh, okay. So now you can attack again. Once again, if you hit, we just move on.
Okay.
Once again, just kind of like, oh fuck you! It takes like 3 or 4, like maybe even like a 5th hit to take this one down. But once again, you caught them off guard. Clearly, this person, even though they were in their like, maybe late 30s, maybe mid 30s, they were in a much better shape than the other ones you were dealing with before. They were somebody who was quite capable. In combat, had you had met them on a field of battle or whatever it is, but you caught them off guard with a devastating blow. And again, maybe 4 or 5 hits to finally make sure that you felt good with this one being pulled aside. And literally, as you're wrenching your axe out of this one, another one appears right there. And this is the first time so far where you don't get to just attack immediately. You weren't prepared. So you actually have to roll an initiative super fast. Don't have to click initiative. Don't have to do it. Just literally press the button initiative and it should appear on screen. Don't have to hit your mini.
Okay.
Neil, technically... Oh, shit. Never mind. Oh, man. 1d20 plus. We know who's going first. And Neil actually beats me on that one, too. Jake, you actually get to go first anyways, with 2 actions. So make 2 attacks there. Okay. One more. And again, you don't even have to sweat it. So literally 2 seconds later on, you like the person appears and they drop this one, takes so many extra hits that you were caught off guard by the other one hitting there, but you don't care. You just like are in battle fervor mode. You're like, this one's fucking tough, and because it took them an extra couple of hits to take down, you kind of like almost enters your mind into that battle fervor Vroga mode. And so then when the next one appears, you just instinctively are just on cutting it down like another tree in your way, and nothing even passes. And then like another gap of time, like 45 seconds or so pass, when all of a sudden the person that appears before you is the actual devil that you originally summoned, who is holding, literally because of how big they are, who's holding another person. This one's in their early 20s. It's another female, holding them by their head, like literally by the like palming their head and holding them there. So it's like their necks and holding their thrashing body, which is kind of a ghastly thing to watch. And they just take the thing and then move the arm back and just throw them on the ground by one's feet, and one easily can just finish it off if he cares to do so. I assume yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then looks about at the situation that he has before him. Kind of like looks at the 5 bodies on the grounds. Looks at you. Looks at the dripping, bloodied weapon in your hands. Looks over at wherein. Takes in the sight one more time, and then with a smile on his devilish face says, I imagine the boon is fulfilled. My men have my servants have already returned.
Leave.
Until next time. And then you can see before him, once again, that portal opens up to a place that is going to leave a scar in your minds that only has fate's memories to it. Steps through the portal, and then it's gone. Leaving behind, once again, that just an impression on you. The 2 of you standing there, once again, in the quiet of night, quieter than it was before you ever arrived here, than when you first arrived here, because no animals are making much sound right now. Though, perhaps soon, something will smell the blood and start creeping its way over.
Should probably dig.
Yes, I agree.
And I guess that is what one will do.
You guys take out your whatever equipment you have with you. You know what I mean? I imagine you do have at very least basic supplies or whatever. Maybe a small summoning spell, whatever it might be. And you just start digging. I mean, you're not doing proper graves. The idea is just to make sure that they can't get spotted too soon, too easily, too whatever. And you dig. Probably one decent size hole, kind of shallow. And push the bodies into it.
Can't we do it properly, not shallow?
Are you 2 people going to dig 5 graves 6 feet deep with enough space to take an entire 5 bodies in them? And that takes a long time. That takes like a long time. Unless you have
I would
magic.
dig
If you have magic, then it's moments.
Said I wouldn't dig in individual graves. That would be like a big
Yeah,
kind
one.
of-
Yeah, one big one. You can kind of pile them into with like maybe 3 feet of dirt over their head.
Yeah, and I would also put in some grave salt. Is that
I
cool?
guess we can't do it properly.
In all fairness, these people don't deserve it.
So you just do it kind of as quickly as you can, because you have to get back before dawn. A semi-shallow grave. The two of you are completely, covered in dirt. One of you covered in a decent amount of blood, and finish doing your task to do this. Just to make sure you guys are comfortable with the idea that you put effort into how it is that you're trying to hide these bodies. Feel free, one, to roll me a survival roll.
Okay.
And I know you're good at that, so.
You jinxed it. You're a monster.
And so you dig the graves and you feel comfortable with the result. And you then are going to be able to get back on your horses and ride into camp just as the sun's starting to come up. And with that, we will end today's session. Well. Just when we think a session can't end any darker than the last. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. So, I'm sorry, Jake, just a quick question. Are you now, too afraid to use this axe?
His plan in game now is once they take Haude Gwenh, if they take Haude Gwenh, to speak to the fire elemental.
Too scared to use axe will literally make deal with the devil.
Is that so funny? He literally summons a devil that scares him.
I put effort into trying to make it a thing of
Yeah,
Rogar,
yeah.
and more or less for Rogar to show me the aura that's tripped something in his head. He's just like, I don't know whether this, he's telling me not to use it, or he's telling me it can be changed, or he doesn't know. So he wants to find out before he commits.
I love that Avis says, can't wait for Valoran's reaction, like Valoran will ever find out. I mean, no, he's in Norway's response there is probably accidentally forgetting that Valoran doesn't know about the deal with the devil. Valoran doesn't know about the 3 boons. Valoran doesn't know about any of that information. Valoran has been 100% kept in the dark about this. The whole idea being
don't say it like that. It makes it feel bad.
our poor kind boy. We can't let him be ruined. So, oh man, I won't lie. I'm glad we ran over a little bit and did this. I'm glad that things played out the way they did. I'm very excited. So
Look,
I just wanted to rule a
it's
peaceful kingdom.
I think it's gonna work out. I don't know exactly what happened with the Devils, if they did anything else or not, but taking them off the playing board, we've got to deal with Beltram, and that's it.
Well, yeah. What's pretty exciting is without, I can't get into too much meta here because I don't want to ruin anything. But the cool thing is that you literally just sent. Well, you have one of the leadership people who apparently hasn't been replaced. One of the leadership people in your custody. One is riding with one of the armies. A bulk of their army, if not the bulk of their army, has left their walls, which you now have to deal with.
The military occupation will be far weaker.
And their entire leadership has been gutted. So that's been not gutted, completely removed. Their entire leadership, the highest echelon of the leadership, has been completely removed. It is now that is a fucking scenario. That's pretty amazing. So I love where things are right now. I like how it ended. I'm not saying it's a good ending, in the sense of good versus evil, but it certainly was a good ending in the sense of storytelling. I love it. I love it. I love it. So
It makes sense. As far like the boon, that's what I mean. The boons are paid for. They got what they wanted. We could hoard them forever and never use them, and maybe that's
No,
the
you're
moral.
right. You're right. It saved lives. It will have saved lives.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Which was the entire purpose of making the deal.
Honestly, we're talking about a considerable number of lives can be saved because, in theory, defeating these two armies. Again, in theory, defeating these two armies, the war is effectively over.
Yeah. In theory, I get that.
Yep. So moving on, you still have for next week information coming from the riders of Wherein. You still have to march south to
ride
Herod.
south.
You have to deal with Rid and the people that are there. But most importantly, it is now morning, the morning that you need to leave, and your characters are already tired. Actually, Jake is automatically fatigued and now has to make checks against exhaustion, and you have to make checks against fatigue just to get to Herod. Never mind everything else. So, yeah.
Does being tired affect commanding?
It affects a lot of things, actually. Being tired affects a lot of things. So.
We're not talking about your penis, Scott. I'm talking about commanding.
That always works.
Except when you're very tired, which is all the time.
I mean,
because you don't get enough sleep.
Tired, drunk, it always works. I can always pee. So. Anyways, enough prostate talk. I'm looking forward to next week. We're gonna have a couple of big battles next week, and maybe see the war come to a close. So maybe we'll see. I don't know. I'm so excited. Can we have the war over before Christmas? Wait, hold on.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, if we end it,
Christmas.
if we end it next week, we could end it before Christmas, because the week after that is Christmas Day.
Oh, obviously the game's on, right?
Christmas Day, yeah, sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah, you tell Chloe and Mom, okay? Jake, you inform the kids and whatnot, and yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Viewers are totally gonna be here to watch. To be fair though, for Jake it won't be Christmas. To be fair for Jake,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh. But anyways, the devil is Santa. Why do you think he wears so much red? Oh. Anyways, let's get out of here. Boys, anything you care to say as a closure? Any last second defenses? Anything you want to share before we
Don't
bounce?
judge us. I'll say again, it's all your fault for cursing us. If only he'd trumped us.
I mean, what if they gave you like you were just triumphant and you deal with the devil? Awesome. Anyways, all right, let's go. Good night, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Whatever time of day it is for you.
You're +8. That's insane.
I would totally stick around and stream for a little bit longer because I really want to. However, it did snow last night / this morning here, and so I have a lot of responsibilities to take care of. And somebody broke a toilet seat, so I have to go fix that too. So, gotta go adult. All right, bye, everybody.
Scott sound to it. Is LI on tonight, Scott?
Oh, yeah. Mike and I are doing a chatty LI tonight, for talking about things and stuff that has stuff to be talked about things. So we will we'll be doing that this evening.
But it's not as good as the stuff that you might talk about over here on twitch.tv/Daelric.
Well, here we have wonderful things. Listen, I'm just saying, if Mike was a part of this campaign, he would have a lot of fun. You know the funny part is, like, no jokes, Mike would be like, oh crap, I don't know what kind of character to play. Neil's playing my character. Charismatic and makes really bad, but very, very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Raymond's got better wisdom than charisma, believe it or not.
But what?
He's got a 14 wisdom.
No, but he's wise. He absolutely is wise.
Yeah,
he's opportunistic is the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually does make wise approach to things, and he's very keen. Mm-hmm. He's just opportunistic. So, anyways, let's go. I could chat forever. Bye, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Goodbye.
Bye.